Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's Chana, and today is A Love's Blind episode 10 and 11 recap. I'll start with where they kind of left off at the end of episode 9, where they were at the group meetup, and Kaya and Kevin had a conversation, squash things, fine. Chris and Bree, they had their conversation. Obviously, we saw how much of a POS Chris is. Terrible. And like I said before, you cannot convince me that that man wasn't paid to say what. I mean, maybe obviously it's a bit naive of me to think that people are not that terrible, but I really would like to think that he's not that. Like, surely someone's not that unaware that they. I mean, there's something to be said when you're speaking frankly or speaking, you're being blunt to what Chris was doing. And he then obviously started to shit stare, right? Where he mentioned that he picked Jess, and because he picked Jess, he kind of insinuated that because he did that, that was why Connor decided to make Brie his number one, which I don't know, because Brie and Emma were an option for Connor, so make that make sense. Right, then Chris and Jess had that conversation, which was very uncomfortable. To be honest, if I could put the bit here somewhere, I would. I don't understand why she even entertained it in the first place. I guess for closure, but I will tell you something right now for free. Closure is what? Overrated. Move on. You don't have to hear what they have to say. It doesn't matter. Whatever they say, you're just going to ruminate over it. You're just going to keep thinking it doesn't matter. Closure is what is overrated. I stand 10 toes on that. For the first however many years, you think, oh, you need closure. I promise you don't. I promise you don't. Because whether you get the closure or not, you're still going to need that time to rethink things, to think things over and over again. You're still going to do that whether you get closure or not. Doesn't matter. Yes, so while it might seem like... I also thought that Brie was entertaining Connor, but she was, but I think it was good that she heard what he had to say, right? Because she also, when they were in Cabo, right, she kind of wanted to not really rekindle things, but have more of a relationship with him once she saw him, right? She thought maybe things might reconnect, or maybe she might have been having other thoughts regarding Connor. But obviously her seeing Chris and living that experience in who he actually is on the outside, I think it was good for her to see that, to realize that she doesn't need that. But we'll get to Brie. Boy, will we get to Brie. All right, Chris and Jess, she'd been working since they broke up. The chat they had, he chats so much shit, man. He chats so much shit. Shit chatting. That's all he does. That's all he knows how to do. It's fucking exhausting. I don't know how Jess was able to sit there and take it. I don't even know how Brie was able to sit, because me, I would have been like, hey, fam. Because he said so much, but he said nothing. He literally said nothing. It's just this. Yappa. Shut it. And then he was like, oh, I think you don't know me. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. Because the person that she was talking to in the fucking pods compared to who this person is on the outside, they're not reconciling. So of course she's going to have problems with that. Yeah. And he's also said this thing as well to, who did he say it to? I think he said it to Amber in the previous episode. Because she was giving him shit, and he's like, oh, I feel like you don't know me. Like, they know. They don't have to know you to know the type of person that you are, because that's who you are. Like, look at how you acted. All the shit you were saying. You were drunk. You were belligerent. Come on. They don't have to know you to know you're a shithead. Alex and Ashley, at the start of they did the whole Priyanka thing, trying to sort out the timelines. There's always a timeline issue. Look. We already know that Chris is a shit talker. Alex is a shit talker. See that man? He thinks he's suave and he's smooth with his talking. He's really not. Like, maybe because I can see he's talking out of his ass. He doesn't look. This whole process, it's not synced in for him yet. He doesn't get it. In my opinion, he doesn't get it. Like, obviously, okay, they were having a conversation about the timeline and the nurse in Austin and him going there and what he had said and what he hadn't said. And the thing about Ashley is she remembers shit because she's been through a relationship like this, which then brings me to the whole thing of, you're seeing the pattern, my girl. You're seeing the pattern. Why did we let it get to the point where you're doing the wedding? You should have ended things the way Brie and Connor ended things. That's what you should have done, girl, because you saw the pattern. You're seeing the pattern. He's not very clear about his timeline. And then he put it to her, right? He goes, oh, who's going to always remember stuff that they've lived? My guy, it was a few months ago. What do you mean? And so obviously she's making justifications for it in her head, like, oh yeah, I don't always remember that. So yeah, surely, yeah, no, that's fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. Only a liar would omit things, and that's what he tends to do because he just wouldn't say. So you think, oh, he probably just forgot. He's a liar. That's what they do. But the thing is, she's seeing these things. She can tell something ain't right. She's trying to catch him in the lie so that she has a reason. But let me tell you your reason. Your reason enough is your intuition and is your feeling. You don't need proof. Just let it go. On this particular one, let it go. You don't need no proof. You don't, like, because that feeling is never going to leave you. It doesn't matter what he says or what he does now. That trust is gone. That feeling, that trust that you had, that utmost trust when you thought that he had lied or omitted something that first time, because now all she's gonna be thinking is, what's he lied about now? What has he left out now? Trying to catch him in a lie, trying to fix that timeline, trying to make sure, girl, you're stressing yourself out. Just leave. And Alex, you should have just been honest from the get-go. You're a tool in the past, or whatever your past is your past. You should have just been honest about it, because all of this, or they contacted me on LinkedIn. We don't have to know. Like, you're giving too much information. That's why we know you're lying, big man. That's why we know you're lying. Well, that's how I know you're lying. Look, I think Ashley knows. I'm hoping she says no at the altar. I'm hoping that they do not get married or engaged or married, because it's a little bit insane. It's insane. So then I think she asked Alex a question that just had me thinking, girl, what are you doing? She goes, if I broke things off now, would you go back to her? And he said no. What do you think he was going to say? Yeah, I would. When he's about to get married. Okay. All right. It's a very fucking stupid question. I'm sorry. Like, what? What you think? You think someone that's not been honest about other things would be honest about what? Girl, I don't understand. And right, they have that conversation, and then they're smiling immediately after. And I'm like, well, you didn't sort anything out. Like, there was no. And I think that he was going to order McDonald's or something. I didn't give a fuck. But I'm like, are you just going to let him off? Like, just like that? Maybe the camera didn't show the depth of the conversation, because obviously, clearly, we don't always see everything. But I'm hoping that he gave you more of an answer than what they showed on the telly, because I think that as a participant, I would ask the cameramen to send me videos of what's just happened, so that I can watch myself as a third party in this situation, so that I can objectively make decisions. Because when I watch myself and I realize how much of a fool I am, I feel like I would make the right decision. Because obviously people always say, when you're in it, you don't think you're always, whatever. Like, when you're in there, your feelings are high or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I'd ask for the tapes. So I think for the next people who are going on the show, ask for the tapes if they'll give it to you. So you can see yourself outside. You can act as the third party and see if what they're telling you makes sense. Yeah? Okay, thank you. Alex saying him not feeling nervous was a good thing. Right, he was not nervous, so that's a good thing. And he never feels nervous. I think this was when they were doing their I don't remember when. But again, the guy's never nervous about anything. She asked him when they were leaving Cabo, are you nervous? He said no. She asked him when they got back, oh, are you nervous? He said no. Now she's asking him, are you nervous? He said no. Do you think the answer's going to change after however many weeks? Girl, you know what? Ashley is to blame. Okay, I don't want to blame the victim, the victim here, because I don't know. Girl, I do not know. I don't think that Alex takes stock of his emotions. First, because it's likely that he's not nervous. Maybe he has apprehensions. Maybe it's not nervousness. It's not anxiety. Or maybe it is anxiety and not nervousness. Maybe it's something. But I think Ashley in that moment is trying to ask him, what are you feeling and what are you thinking? But she's asking it in are you nervous? Because she's projecting because she's nervous, I'm assuming. But obviously, my guy's not nervous in it, because I'm thinking he's associating nervousness with a specific type of feelings where you've got like the shakes and you're like, whatever. He's not feeling that. Guy thinks he's cool as a cucumber. But clearly I think he has apprehensions. I think he has He has thoughts, he has opinions about the whole situation. Trying to ask him, what are you feeling in this moment about us getting married going forward? Do you feel excited? Do you feel anxiety? Are you worried about the future? Because even when they did the little fireplace little thing, she was asking him all of that, and he just chats so much shit. I rolled my eyes so many times, I can't count. I stopped listening at some point because he was just so. At the fireplace, when they had their final date, I think she asked him what he was most excited about, because now she's choosing to be very specific, not just ask us stupid questions. Yeah. Okay. So he goes, and then I don't think we see his answer. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to his answer. And then she asked him, well, what would their first Christmas be like? Where are they going? And then he's like, oh, we'll go to the North Pole or whatever, South Pole. I don't care. And Antarctica, they'll go there. Or Iceland or something. She's like, oh, no, maybe somewhere warm. And then he doesn't say anything. And then she's like, something. And anyway, she does the hair flick, and she's like, I'm like, okay, Ashley, sit down. In this moment, do you think you both align with all these questions that you have asked this man about your travels? Yeah, because that's what you want to do. You want to travel more, but he wants to travel to Reykjavik. He wants to go to Iceland or whatever the fuck, and to the Antarctica, and you want to go to somewhere warm. Does that sound like you align? No. Yes. No. Okay. Okay, and you said you wanted to know like where you'll be based for, the foreseeable future, and he did not give you an answer. It didn't seem like he gave you an answer. So in that moment, what was going through your mind? Because you said you're a planner. You like to know things, which fair play. This is a man who he doesn't know where he's living. I don't know. And do you think you're compatible? Because that's my problem with this fucking show. I hate this show so much, but I can't. It's like it's a car crash, and I cannot look away from it. It's just the premise of the show. Okay. Anyway, this couple is. I hope they don't get married. Moving on to Jordan and Amber. Jordan and Amber. He's gonna. They had a little fight when he was saying something about at the end of episode at 9, where he seemed like he said something about him meeting the daughter and how anxious he was about it. They had an argument. She kind of stormed off and he didn't hear from her, and he was worried about him not hearing from her, and that upset him. Anyway, he says all of that. She blows up about meeting the kid, and she's like, why didn't you tell me about all your feelings and your anxieties about meeting my daughter, and not why am I hearing it through a third party, or like eavesdropping of sorts or whatever. Like, she felt like she should have been the first person to say it. But in my opinion, I don't think, maybe he didn't directly say this, but I think every time on the show that they brought it up, he's been very clear about how anxious he is about meeting the daughter, and if the daughter's going to like him and all of that. So how is she not picking up on those cues? And obviously the way they kind of reconcile their differences, or what they do when they're arguing, where she goes plain silent, I think that's something that can be easily fixed, where if she does that, she withdraws, and you just remind you're withdrawing, blah, blah, blah. That you can fix in a relationship. Usually, if both parties are, working towards it type shit. I also think that in a way, maybe she's projecting, right? Because I think he's been quite clear about his nervousness about meeting the kids. And that was where I even drew my conclusion about him not being ready to be a father figure of sorts for the daughter, or with the daughter, or whatever situation that is. Valid thing to be upset about. I don't know if it's walk out of the thing worthy, throwing tantrums drama, but I guess they needed more drama than Chris created. So she gave them one, I guess. I don't know, because I was so confused as to what was going on there. But anyway, they squash it. They have a conversation. They hug it out. I think he needs, when he's stressed, he needs a different way of coping than just sitting home and being all sad. He needs to do something else. Right. So when they had that initial conversation, when they were squashing things, she says that she's struggling to trust men because of her past. And he then says it's not fair that she's doing that because he hasn't shown her that. And obviously because of her past, her guard is up, right? Her walls are up. And he said that's not fair when it comes to her not trusting him in particular, because what has he done to show her that, he's not trustworthy? I think that if you're dealing with someone with that amount of, I don't want to say baggage, but baggage or trust issues, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of work. It's not, I personally, I don't think it's something that they can sort out in however many days. mean, it's likely that they can work through it, still get married, lead different lives, and then like get married for real, really merge their family and become an actual unit while he gets used to the whole child thing. It's possible. Anyway, what do I think? That whole conversation, I don't think they handled that well, to be honest, but that's me from the outside looking in. And also that's me not really having full context because I don't trust those editors. At the fit-in, Jordan was like, he could walk in with like shorts, but obviously she's not going to be happy about that. That man stresses me out. I know I'm not the one getting married to him, so there is no reason on God's green earth why I should be stressed, but I'm stressed because he's so shabby and he doesn't care. And to be honest, I have my moments where I don't give a fuck, but oh my God, he can grow. He can grow in the relationship for sure if he's willing. That's important. They then have their final date at Otherworld, which loved. It looked really good. There was a lot of kissing, a lot of, stuff. They talked about him meeting her daughter, which he was going to meet her soon, obviously off camera. And hopefully everything goes well. And then they win like a plushie thing. And he's like, oh, it'd be nice for him to give this to her. And he was like, oh, he's got a gift for her. And I was just thinking to myself, I hope it's not the fucking pencils that he mentioned at the like earlier on in the episode, because how old is the kid? 8? And you're giving me fucking pencils? Okay. I mean, I'm not 8 years old, but I know for sure an 8-year-old doesn't want fucking pencils, but okay. One thing kind of stood out to me though with her towards, like, I think at the end of the day they were doing the interviews, and she said that she thinks she would fulfill him. And I'm like, I beg your, sorry? What do you mean? Come again? Why? What? You will fulfill a man? Why? Because you will give him reason to live? You know that thing where people are like, oh, once you marry and once you have children, you'll have a purpose in life. Fuck you lot, because that's the mentality of this shit. Yeah. That's why she thinks she would give this man purpose. What happened to him having purpose in his life before he meets it? What? You will fulfill him? Because you are a project, or he's a project? You want to save him? You want to fix him? Okay. This one I want to watch. Like, I want them to get married, and then I want a TLC show on their lives. Yes. Maybe Netflix should follow them. Yes, I want this one. This one I want to see. Madame Fix. She wants to be his purpose. I want to see how this one will play out. What a diabolical thing. And I think a lot of women are like this, because what do you mean you will fulfill his life? Like, his life purpose is you. Me. Okay. Before they say I'm doing feminism, this is where I call it what's done. Because, okay. All right. Okay. I did not say anything. I did not say anything. I just want to see what this one is going to be like, because that's insane. I mean, fair enough, maybe he'll grow from this relationship, and I don't doubt that. But I think it's something to say that you're going to, like, why? Because then if this fails, you're going to start thinking that it's got to do with you, and you didn't give him enough purpose. It's not your job to do that. It's not your job to fulfill somebody else's life. One does shall never end. Oh my God, you want to fulfill what? Oh my God, I can't do this. I can't fucking do this shit, man. Brie and Connor. Moving on to Brie and Connor. Brie and Connor, they have a conversation about Chris and what he said. They kind of squashed it. Connor gave a relatively good answer. When the whole thing about him choosing Brie as his number one, because Connor said Chris said he was going to bow out. But from the conversation that they had in the pods, from what they showed, I honestly, I don't think so. I do think that between Emma and Brie, because Emma had somebody else, and him and Emma with the whole kids thing, he was very sure about him wanting that. And like, that didn't align. So he's like, I have this other woman who we pretty much align with everything else. So why not? There's even more common ground there, right? So why not? And he went for her. And to be honest, I think it was that simple. The dude is not that complicated. I promise you that. He just likes what he likes, and he wants what he wants, and once he's made up his mind, that's it. He doesn't stress. You know what I mean? No, literally, he doesn't stress. I stress. But I think I'm more of a Brie than a Connor, if we're being honest. She then shows him a message. I think in that same conversation, I think Chris calls her. He's like, "Where are you?" or something. Honestly, Chris, you need to sort yourself out. Connor says he's jealous. He's kind of jealous, obviously, that some other guy wants her, but he's going to trust her in that moment. And Connor, clap for yourself. You do what? Clap for yourself, because that's right. There's nothing else you can do. What's are you going to do? If she's going to go to another man, it's got nothing to do with you. And I like a man that knows his worth. Damn straight. Clap for yourself. Give yourself a star and a star on Ed. Mwah. Right. Connor, and I think he then said he will be the man. No, they were playing Be the Man I Need. Dun, 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 dun. I said, because they did the same thing with Ashley and what's his face, and Alex, where when they were having that conversation, they played a song. But anyway, they had that Connor and Brie and Connor, they end up having that conversation. Yeah, they then go to meet his dad. No, they then go to meet her dad. Showed him where she went to college. Nice, it was very cute. They did like this little cake thing where they fed each other. Her family was very welcoming to him. They really liked him a lot. They think that they would work quite well together. Yeah, sure. And yeah, that was nice. I think obviously dad didn't really want to be on camera. Fair play. Brie has Connor's mom and his sister, I think, come to her dress fitting, which was quite nice of her to do. Yeah, the moms kind of talked and all of that. So, but then 4 days to the wedding, they have a little train date. They kind of talked things through. They talked about him missing her family, and he thinks he has a few things in common with her dad, and he's quite confident about the whole thing. And he is constantly just validating her, telling her, she's great with her job, she's this. And then she then says that she feels validated, or because he wants her. And okay, she then says something. Someone says something about, but that feeling of when affirming each other. Really, they were very, very cutesy at that train date thing that they had. But then obviously 2 days to the wedding, they then have another conversation. They have another date, and I think she had a cold, and she's like, I'm not, even during that day, she was like, I'm not the best. I'm not at my best right now, but you still love me that way. And that conversation, she validates him. She kind of praises him a lot about how he's been treating her, making her feel like that's what it should look like when she's loved, and she appreciates him doing that for her. Anyway, they ended up breaking up, and I'm very proud of them for doing that. And I'm also very proud of her for realizing that they are not well suited when it comes to, how they behave. And so I think possibly with time they could have made something work. I think they broke up, but it might have been let's kind of see where things go, but let's not get married. I think that was a conversation that they had. I like that they had that conversation because of his family and her family and how they are. You don't want a situation where, you're bringing people from God knows where to come to your wedding and you're going to say no at the altar type shit, right? So she wanted to squash it, and I'm really happy that she did that, because he then said it would have been a yes for him at the altar because he was quite sure. But I think a lot of people have brought this up, that he has his shit together. I'm not denying that he doesn't. He has a job. He's very comfortable. He has his little routine. But here's the thing. I don't think that there's certain things that when it comes to living together that they're not compatible with, in my opinion. And she even said it herself, right? It's not that he doesn't go for things. I think it's the amount of time. He's very relaxed. He's very laid back. When he then decides that he wants something, he'll go for it. But I think at a time like this, I think the level of accomplishment that they both think they require doesn't match on her. And my girl is the girl that was she was talking about, when we go on a date, a man should order for me and tell me this is what you want. That's it. Someone needs to sit this woman down and have a conversation with her. I beg your motherfucking pardon. Yeah. She was like, oh, it's a different type of You don't get to turn your brain off when you're with your partner. Don't do that. You don't. She said she's not used to that type of relationship where there's actual partnership. I'm questioning her entire relationship history at this point when she said this, because what do you mean? This is the part where people might hate me, but technically I think Chris was right. Chris was a dick for the way he said what he said, but Chris was right. Chris was right when he said Connor's not her type. because clearly her type is the one who will boss her around and tell her what to do. But Connor wants a partnership, someone who's present with him and there with him. And I think that she's that. But I think she is so stuck in her old ways and what she thinks a relationship should be like. Whatever, why she thinks that, that's none of my concern. But when there are two people in a relationship and, you know, someone is wanting, I bet you she didn't want to say it, an alpha. Oh, and the other one is offering, you know, partnership. You know, they're not gonna gel. They're not gonna gel. While I do think that Connor does need some growing when it comes to how he keeps his home, and maybe a little bit more oomph when it comes to his career, because he's very comfortable with the life that he lives right now, and I cannot fault him for that. Literally, other than him not being clean and like procrastinating all the other stuff like that's the only thing. Because what he's offering her, I think it's golden. So good luck to Connor. Honestly, Connor, really, really good luck to him. And Brie, go to therapy. Yes, because your taste in men is very questionable. I think actually all the women on the show, I don't know. I think it's the fact that they're Southerners, maybe, because I can't get over her needing someone to order food for her at dinner, because she was like, oh, when we go to dinner, you asked me, oh, what should we have? I'm like, is that not making conversation? Is that not just partnership? When you sit at dinner at the restaurant and you're going through the menu and like, oh, what are you having? Oh, I'm thinking of this, oh, I'm thinking of that. But you want a man who would open the menu and tell you want steak. Yeah? What if I ate 2 hours ago and I don't fucking want steak? What then? Brie, sort yourself out. Sort yourself out now. Okay. Anyway, I wrote here, you're not compatible, please, next chapter. The way he makes her feel loved is what she's struggling to wrap her head around. And that to me is a massive insecurity. Well, and to be honest, I'm kind of happy for her that she was able to experience this so that she can then move into the next thing eyes wide open, knowing that she is worth a lot and she shouldn't take shit from nobody, and she does deserve to be loved, but she doesn't need it to be in an alpha form. And I think she needs to deconstruct that. It's going to be hard, but I think she's got this, because you're a very independent woman. You've got all your shit together. You've got your life together, and you're tidy. You just need. I think you need someone who is as quick as you are, who's just like that, you know. But they're not going to tell you what to do. But he's like, you know, who's quick. I don't know what the right word is, but you're on the same speed. Because I think Chris might just be a little bit too chill for her, and that might have frustrated her a lot. And that's how you tell that you're not compatible. And I'm happy that they squash things. Anyway, he said, like I said, he would have said yes. Would they continue to date? Maybe. Moving on. Christine and Vic, to be honest, there's really not much to say there. They barely even showed them. I think they showed them for like 2 minutes. They had the little date. They were like, they have no fears. There was no drama with the both of them. So yeah, it was fine. They have no drama. I kind of said I was kind of scared for them because everything's been smooth sailing so far. Would it be when things have kind of calmed down that they then eventually have their problems? If that's the case, I guess we wouldn't have to say, and we don't have to see anything because we barely saw them anyway. But they seem like a nice couple. They seem quite, their head very relaxed, head screwed on. Same. They seem everything. Yeah. He was like, yeah, I think you make a good partner. And then I literally just switched my brain off until I saw the next couple on the TV, because I was just like, okay. Yeah, this is what Netflix had. Yeah. This is okay. I understand now. Fair play. All right. Emma and Mike. There was something I noticed when they were picking the colors, and he was like, he doesn't really know anything about it. I just thought, this is Brie and Connor all over again. They're not compatible. Can this end already? Like, but just finish it already. Like, and then they then have another conversation at the zoo, I think, when they went on their final date. The children thing, and he was like, yeah, I'm happy that you're now thinking about it. No, you're not. Don't lie. You want kids, not that you. He then says, oh yeah, I'm glad she's coming around, and it seems like she might be coming around to it. Well, I do possibly agree that Emma might want children, this ain't it. He literally said that he's so scared that she could resent him if they do eventually have children, and come to resent those children. And how do you assuage those doubts that it wasn't you that pressured this person into doing this thing? They should have ended it from. They should have stopped at the pods. Legit. Because what the fuck? What the fuck? There didn't have to be these many couples. This, I feel. Anyway, they said yes to. She said yes for now. So far that we've seen at the altar, but I'm hoping he says no. I'm hoping that that is the or the gasps and the whatnots. I'm really hoping. But if they, it's likely though that Emma has grown a lot during this whole process, and now she does eventually want these kids. So yeah, because obviously her family said that she fits. His family said that she fits. And so yeah, yeah. Girl, when you were at the zoo, you struggled to say that you were thinking about like you you ended up coming out and being like, yeah, you think about it, you think about it. You couldn't even you couldn't say it out loud, you stuttering. Girl. Brittany and Devontae. They show us a cute thing where he's putting on her lash, she's putting on the lashes, like a little, lash tech room and esthetician room thing. They talked about the finances, the mortgage, all of that is cute. This is a woman. She likes being feminine. She feels feminine in this moment, and good. They talked about the mortgage, the business, his job that he's in sales, his income, all of that. His expenses running about over 5,000 or something like that. Hers is not that much, and she was aghast by it. Fair play. Then I just kind of thought about it being weird that this woman is so independent and she's so well established, and surely there's some type of, is it irony, duality, there's some fucked up shit going on there anyway about how she's so well established and so independent, yet she's so insistent on marriage and that the companionship that comes with it to make her life seem like it has meaning. And I hate that so much for her, because what do you mean? I really struggle to reconcile the person that she is, like the reality of her, and what she seems to be saying and or wanting, or not, or maybe things that she's not paying attention to because of what she wants, marriage. Because let's keep in mind, this is a woman who already has her wedding dress, and I've seen stuff like this on the internet where women are like, oh, they bought their wedding dress and then they met the man of the dream, all of that. I'm glad it worked out for you. Like, I understand it's something about having faith, right? It's something about having that need for companionship and how urgent that seems to be for her, because she feels like she's of a specific age and she should have had certain things by a specific time. But maybe in her haste for her looking for these things, she's not looking for the right things in a partner, maybe. And just like, maybe it's anybody would fit at this point type shit, and that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Yeah, I think they were in the jacuzzi for their little date thing, and he was like, he's 98% there. She Because she was like, she wouldn't have her family and her friends there if she wasn't sure, or have them come from all over if she wasn't sure. And then they have another conversation when they go inside, which I'm praying this leads her to say no at the altar. I want to preface this with saying I understand wanting companionship and really, 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 really wanting it when it seems like you're never gonna get it. But you can't want it so much that you overlook the red flags that this man is waving in your fucking face. Like, he's doing this. Anyway, they go inside. Everything's whatever. He then brings up an issue that he has where he heard that during the dress fit-in that he was brought up, and she was like, yeah, you were brought up, but like I was just talking about how, because someone asked me about you and how you feel when you see me, and I said, I don't know, because you're a man of many words. You know him, yeah. My question is, who's the grass? Who's the chatty patty? Who's the grass? Who? Which one of the women is the one telling Devontae all of these things? How is he hearing about it? That's number one. Number two, what do you mean you were discussed in a group of people where they're all talking about each other, where it's a shared experience? Nobody else understands it other than the group that she's in. What do you mean? Why are you talking about me? Who was it she going to talk about? if she's having problems and she wants to kind of vent and express things, who else is she? Maybe it's the fact that she's talking about it in a huge group that he has an issue with. But regardless, even on the outside with somebody else, they will be talking about you in their relationships. They will be. Oh, do you have something to hide? All right. So he already knows that he's not fulfilling her in a specific way when it comes to being physically affectionate with her, and she's very upset about that. But then she then says she's accepted that about him. I said, baby girl, you haven't. You're willing to accept it because you want this too bad. So bad that you're willing to ignore something that you feel like you require in a relationship, that you feel like you need, which is physical. Just, I want to cry for you, Brittany. I want to cry because what? Why? Why would you want this for yourself? Why would you do this? Anyway, they have that conversation. They then have another conversation about prenups and him wanting to protect himself in a specific way. And then she's not kind of sure about where that's headed, because it feels like technically it feels like to her he's got one foot out the door, that he doesn't trust her. She's not that type of person. But first of all, it's fair to how you feel about how you feel. But it's when it comes to prenup, in my opinion, it's never personal. As well as you might be thinking that it's there to protect him, but it's also there to protect you. Well, yes, you're not that type of person. Nobody is ever that type of person. And I don't, okay. clearly, in this particular situation though, this man, he doesn't trust you, right? Because at first, if it's someone who's been thinking about the prenup being a thing, this would have been mentioned in the pods, but it wasn't. Because now that he's come outside, he's realized that maybe he's got it a bit more than you do. And he's like, oh, don't want to go to God, look at her, she's fucking hot. You know? and so he's got a sense of the type of person that you are. Someone's definitely doing this in his ears, for sure. And he's come to you now with this whole prenup thing. And to be honest, this is the only instance where I feel like, although she brought it up as an issue for the wrong reasons, because to her it's him mistrusting her, but mistrusting her for a specific reason, and I don't think that that's what she's thinking. For me, it's so comical. I don't want to say comical, but it's an interesting glimpse into the lives of Christian couples, because then they prayed together and they said they asked the Lord for guidance on their situation, their relationship, and their marriage. I said, hey. Okay. God is telling you to use your intuition, my girl. So let's bring this right back to earth. He doesn't give you affection the way you like. He shows that he doesn't trust you when it comes to his finances, all of that, because he wants to prenup to you. Him not wanting to be talked about, right, when it comes to you confiding in someone else about how he's behaved. He thinks that that's an issue. Red flag. What else does he do? Oh, he insults you to your face and you kind of smile at him like he's making a joke, but I'm dead ass. He's not joking about a damn thing. I mean, like about a damn thing. He does find your snoring to be an issue. And you don't know that you snore, but he's not telling you straight up that you snore and that he don't like it. You see how Amber and Jordan sorted out their own snoring issues? This man can't even tell you that your snoring is an issue, and you can't take it without you doing this. And that's who you want to marry. Okay. I wish everybody here good luck. I hope you don't get married for yours and his mental health. The next episode, sure, I'll watch it just to know who got married and who doesn't. I'm kind of avoiding spoilers wherever I can. So I'm on my FYP, I'm just there's specific people that I really like their takes. I'm just like swiping through because I just don't want to know. I want to objectively kind of look through and watch the thing myself and have my own opinions and whatnot. So and have it be independent. For what's her face? What's my predictions for the couples? Even though Amber has said yes, I'm really hoping he says no and that they don't go ahead. But honestly, at this point, I think they will get married. So Brie and Connor, obviously they've broken up. Christine and Vic, I think they're a yes. Briante and Devonte and Brittany, I'm hoping that that's a no. Who else is left? Girl, I don't even remember. To be honest, I don't really care. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm definitely looking forward to the reunion. Oh, Alex and Ashley, please say no to each other. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to the reunion. Does anyone have kids this season? Who knows? And how many states are in America? 52, 50 something, 54? I think that's however many seasons that we've got to go. Fucking hell. I'm looking forward to New York though. They need to go to New York. That'd be nice. Give us something. Give us something good. Give us LA. You know, I'd love to watch that. Give us. Have they done Wisconsin? Is that a city or something? I don't know. Is that a state? I don't know. Give us New York though. I want New York. I'm sure that they're going to Florida at some point. That one will be interesting, I think. Yeah, that'd be interesting. And I don't want to see any of the southern states. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, what other states am I looking forward to? To be honest, I don't really know the American states. I know them, but I don't know them. California, I said LA, California. But then again, California is really big. Like, they have places up there that snows. I don't know. And they're deceptively conservative. The states, I mean, like obviously there's little pockets and whatnot, but like, as a state, I think very questionable. That's California. Anyway, whichever one's next, I'm looking forward to the UK one. That'd be interesting. I wonder what shire, what province they're going to go to next. I think they did Manchester. They need to come to the Midlands. Oh no, they'll probably do like Cardiff or somewhere next, or maybe somewhere in Ireland. That'd be nice. I think that's all that's all I've got for these that's all I've got this round. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.